Jia stood tall on the bridge of the Dazun warship. Her black uniform fit perfectly against her blue-tinted skin. 6 gold marks on her collar showed her high rank. She watched the small blue planet grow larger on the screen. "Commander Jia, we will reach Earth orbit in 10 minutes, said her pilot. Jia nodded. "Prepare the landing team." This was not her first contact mission, but it was perhaps the most interesting. Humans were physically weak by Dazun standards. They had no claws, no enhanced strength, no natural armor. Yet somehow they had built a civilization worth the Empire's attention. How strange, she thought. In the Dazun Empire, power was everything. The strong ruled, the weak served. This was the natural order. Jia had risen through military ranks by proving her strength again and again. Her people respected strength above all else. It was their religion, their way of life. "Commander, the humans have sent a welcome message," her communications officer said. "They wish to meet our delegation peacefully." Jia almost laughed. Peaceful meetings were for the weak. But the Emperor had ordered her to observe human culture before any decisions were made about this planet. "Tell them we accept," she said. The landing craft touched down in an open field. A small group of humans waited nearby, standing beside several ground vehicles. Jia led her team of 6 officers down the ramp. The humans were smaller than she expected, soft-looking. Their leader stepped forward, a man of average height with kind eyes. "Welcome to Earth," he said with a small bow. "I am Ta, diplomat and engineer. We are honored by your visit." Jia studied him. No weapons, no armor, just a simple blue suit and a gentle smile. In Dazun culture, he would be nothing. Yet he spoke with quiet confidence. "I am Commander Jia of the Dazun Empire," she replied. "We have come to learn about your world." Ta's smile widened. "And we are eager to learn about yours. Please, follow me." As they walked toward the vehicles, one of Jia's officers whispered, "They are even weaker than we thought. This will be an easy conquest." Jia frowned. "We are here to observe, not conquer." Yet, the humans took them to a large building in a city. Inside, representatives from Earth's nations waited. Jia watched as Ta moved among them, speaking softly, making introductions. There was something unusual about him. He had no obvious power, yet people listened when he spoke. During the formal meeting, Earth's leaders asked about Dazun culture and shared information about human history. Jia spoke of the Empire's strength, its many conquests, its belief that power determined worth. "And what does your civilization value most?" she asked, expecting to hear about human weapons or resources. Tai answered, "Many things. Knowledge, compassion, freedom. We believe all people have worth, not just the strong." Several of Jia's officers laughed openly. Such foolish ideas. How had humans survived with such weakness? Yet as the meeting continued, Jia noticed something odd. The humans disagreed with each other often, but no one was killed for showing weakness. Instead, they listened and found compromise. On a Dazun ship, challenges to authority would end in blood. When the meeting ended, Tai approached her alone. "Commander Jia, I will be your guide during your stay. I hope to show you that our worlds can learn from each other." Jia looked down at him, this small human with no visible strength. What could the mighty Dazun possibly learn from humans? She asked. Tai smiled again, his eyes warm. "Perhaps that there are many kinds of strength, Commander. Not all of them involve conquest." For the first time in her life, Jia felt curious rather than dismissive about weakness. This human was interesting. "We shall see," she said. "This is where we heal our sick," Tai explained as he led Jia through the hospital. It was day 3 of what humans called a cultural exchange. Jia had been ordered to learn about human society. So far, she was confused by everything she saw. "You use so many resources to save the weak?" she asked, watching doctors tend to an elderly man. Tai tilted his head. "We don't see age or illness as weakness, Commander. Each life has value. On Dazun, The sick were left to recover on their own or die. Only the strong survived. It was natural. Show me something else, Gia said. The care humans showed for each other made her uncomfortable. Ta nodded and took her outside. The sun felt warm on her blue skin. They walked through a park where children played. I expected to see military training grounds, Gia said, watching small humans climb and swing on colorful equipment. We have those too, Ta smiled. But children need time to play and learn through joy. Gia frowned. How will they become strong? There are many kinds of strength, Ta said again. This seemed to be his favorite phrase. Later that day, they visited what Tay called a community garden. People of all ages worked together, growing food in small plots of land. These people have enough food, Gia observed. Why grow more? They enjoy it, and they share what they grow with those who have less. As they walked through rows of green plants, an old woman offered Gia a small red fruit. Try a strawberry, dear, she said with a wrinkled smile. In Daesan culture, Gia would never accept food from someone weaker. But something made her reach out and take the fruit. It was sweet and soft, unlike anything on her home world. Thank you, she said, surprising herself. The old woman patted her arm and moved on. No one on Daesan would dare to touch a commander. Your people are very familiar, Gia said. Ta laughed. We connect through kindness. As they walked down a busy street, they passed a man sitting on the ground. He looked dirty and thin. Ta stopped, spoke softly to the man, and gave him some small papers that Gia had learned was human money. That man is clearly weak, Gia said when they continued walking. Why help him? Because he needs it, Tai answered simply. Any of us could face hard times. Gia shook her head. On my world, he would not survive. And is your world better for it? The question caught her off guard. The Daesan Empire was mighty, feared across 3 star systems. Of course it was better, wasn't it? Before she could answer, they heard a cry. Ahead, a small child had fallen and was crying. Blood dripped from his knee. His mother tried to comfort him. Without hesitation, Tai knelt beside them. He pulled a small medical kit from his pocket and helped clean the wound. He spoke gently to the boy, who soon stopped crying. There you go, brave one, Ta said, placing a bandage on the knee. The mother thanked him, and they continued on their way. You helped strangers again, Gia noted. What do you gain? Ta looked surprised. Must I gain something? Their pain was something I could help stop. Isn't that enough? Gia was silent. On her world, no one helped without expecting something in return. Power, favor, honor, there was always a price. That night, in her temporary quarters, Gia sent her daily report to the Daesan command. She described human technology, defenses and resources as required. But she found herself leaving out details about Ta, about how he helped without gain, about the strange feeling she had watching him care for others. Such things would not interest her superiors. They only cared about power. Yet as she prepared for sleep, Gia found herself thinking about strawberries and kindness, and a human who believed in different kinds of strength. Gia's communication device buzzed at midnight. She sat up in her bed and answered the call. The stern face of Admiral Keo, her superior, appeared on the small screen. Commander, report your findings, he ordered. Gia sat straighter. Humans have impressive technology but limited space defenses. Their weapons are not as advanced as ours. Good. And their weakness. Gia hesitated. After 2 weeks on Earth, she had seen many things that confused her. Humans helped each other. They'd valued all lives. They showed kindness without reason. They care too much about the weak, she said finally. They waste resources protecting those who cannot protect themselves. Admiral Keo smiled coldly. Then they will be easy to conquer. The Empire has decided to show humans their place in the universe. We will attack one of their small outposts in 3 days. This will remind them that only strength deserves respect. Jia felt something strange in her chest, a tightness. Is that necessary? They have not threatened us. The Admiral's eyes narrowed. Are you questioning orders, Commander? Perhaps these humans have affected your judgment. No, Admiral. I will do my duty. After the call ended, Jia could not sleep. She thought of Ta, who had shown her human art, music, and medicine, who spoke of peace and cooperation, who would be hurt by the Empire's show of force. The next day, Tai took Jia to a building filled with children. A school, he called it. All human children attend. Jia asked, watching young ones read books and solve problems. Yes, we believe education is a right, not a privilege, Tai explained. On Dasun, only the children of the powerful received education. Others learned only fighting or basic skills. In one classroom, a small girl approached Jia without fear. Your skin is pretty, the child said. Are you from very far away? Jia looked down at the tiny human. Yes, from beyond your stars. Will you be our friend? The girl asked. Friend. The word felt strange. Dasun had allies, subordinates, rivals, but friends. Equals who stood together by choice. Jia did not answer. She could not. In 3 days, the Empire would attack humans. How could she speak of friendship? That evening, Tai took Jia to a quiet place by a lake. The sun was setting, turning the water golden. You seem troubled today, he said. Jia looked away. I am fine. Among friends, it's okay to share burdens, Ta said gently. There was that word again. Friends. Jia felt the tightness in her chest grow. Why are humans not afraid of those stronger than them? She asked suddenly. Tai thought for a moment. We learned long ago that true strength isn't about who can hurt others the most. It's about who can build the most, heal the most, love the most. That is not what my people believe. I know. Tai's voice was sad. But beliefs can change. Our history is full of times when we valued power above all else. We nearly destroyed ourselves. What changed you? We realized that cooperation helps everyone survive better than competition. That compassion creates stronger bonds than fear. Jia watched the sun disappear below the horizon. In the growing darkness, she made a decision. That night, she sent a message to her ship. She told them her communication device was broken and she needed to return for a replacement. It was a lie, the first she had ever told to her own people. When her shuttle left Earth the next morning, Ta stood watching, concern in his eyes. I will return soon, Jia told him. Another lie. Once aboard her warship, Jia went straight to her private quarters. There, she did something no loyal Dasun officer would ever do. She began to sabotage her own people's attack plans. The Empire would show humans their power in 2 days. But if Jia succeeded, the demonstration would fail. She would be considered a traitor among her kind. As she worked, Jia thought of Ta's words about strength and cooperation, about the human child who called her skin pretty, about friendship freely offered. For the first time in her life, Commander Jia doubted the worship of power. Jia had done what she could. She changed some targeting codes. She delayed fuel shipments to fighter craft. But she could not stop the attack completely. Now she stood on the bridge of her ship, watching as 3 Dasun warships approached the small human outpost on Mars. The red planet looked peaceful from space. Commander, the attack begins in 10 minutes, her second officer reported. Admiral Keo stood nearby, his tall blue form radiating confidence. The humans will learn respect today. Jia's heart beat fast. Admiral, I have just received word that humans have sent a diplomat to discuss peaceful relations. They are requesting a meeting before any action is taken. It was partly true. A human ship had arrived, but Jia had not yet received any message from it. Admiral Keo frowned. Delay tactics. Ignore them. Our orders were to observe human behavior. Jia pressed. This is an opportunity to study their response under pressure. The Admiral studied her face. Then he nodded. Very well. Bring their diplomat aboard. But the demonstration will proceed as planned. When the human shuttle docked, Jia felt both relief and fear. Relief turned to shock when Tai stepped out. Diplomat Tai, she said stiffly. Welcome aboard the Dazun flagship. His eyes met hers. Did he suspect she had known about the attack? Commander Jia, I came as soon as we detected your fleet approaching our Mars colony. She led him to the meeting room. Once they were alone, she spoke quickly. You need to leave. Now. The Empire will attack your outpost as a show of force. Tai's face showed no surprise. I suspected as much. That's why I came. There are 2,000 people on that outpost, Jia. Many of them children. The number hit Jia hard. Children like the one who had called her skin pretty. I tried to stop it, she admitted. I couldn't. Then help me evacuate them, Ta said. What happened next unfolded in chaos. Ta contacted the Mars outpost, while Jia created a distraction by reporting false sensor readings of defensive weapons. This gave the human colony time to begin evacuation. But Admiral Kyo grew suspicious. He ordered the attack to begin immediately. The first missiles launched. Jia watched in horror as they streaked toward Mars. Some will miss their targets, she told Ta. But not all. The colony will be hit. Tai's face hardened with determination. Then I need to get down there. I can help with the evacuation. It's too dangerous, Jia said. Those are my people, he replied simply. When Ta's shuttle launched toward Mars, Jia made a choice that would change everything. She followed him in another shuttle. The colony was in chaos when they arrived. Buildings burned. People ran toward evacuation ships. Jia had never seen the results of Dazun power up close before. It turned her stomach. Ta moved quickly, helping injured people toward the ships. Jia found herself following his lead, guiding frightened humans to safety. There are more trapped in the science building, someone shouted. Ta immediately ran toward the burning structure. Jia followed without thinking. Inside, smoke filled the air. They found 3 humans trapped behind fallen debris. Help me move this, Ta called. Together, they lifted a heavy beam. The humans escaped, but as they turned to follow, part of the ceiling collapsed. Jia reacted on instinct, pushing Ta clear of the falling debris. Pain exploded in her leg as something heavy crushed it. She expected Ta to leave her. It was what any Dazun would do, abandon the weak to save themselves. Instead, he returned. Despite the danger, despite her being an enemy, he lifted the debris from her leg and carried her out as the building collapsed behind them. Outside, he tended her wound even as more missiles fell around them. Why? She gasped through pain. Why help me? I am one of them. Ta met her eyes as he bandaged her leg. Because this is what humans do. We don't leave people behind, not even those who came to harm us. In that moment, as fire rained from the sky and her own people's weapons caused destruction around her, Jia saw true strength for the first time. Traitor. The word flashed across Zhou's communication device. It was followed by her image, marked with the red symbol of dishonor. The Empire had officially named her an enemy. It had been 3 days since the attack on Mars. 3 days since Ta had saved her life. 3 days of hiding on Earth while her leg healed. Jia sat on the edge of her bed in Ta's small home. He had brought her here after the evacuation ships escaped Mars. She had nowhere else to go. They found out what I did, she said when Ta entered the room. He sat beside her, looking at the message. Are you surprised? No. Jia closed her eyes. In the Empire, there is no greater crime than betraying your own kind. If I return, they will execute me. Tai was quiet for a moment. Do you regret helping us? Jia thought about the children they had saved, the people who lived because of their warning, the way Ta had carried her to safety when any Dazun would have left her behind. No, she said finally. I do not regret it. Later that day, a human doctor visited to check Jia's leg. The woman showed no fear of the blue-skinned alien who had once been her enemy. "You're healing well," the doctor said. "Another week, and you'll be walking normally." Jia was confused. "Why help me? I am Daesun. My people attack yours." The doctor smiled. "But you helped save lives. And even if you hadn't, you're injured and need care." After the doctor left, Jia hobbled to the window. Outside, children played in the street. Their laughter carried through the glass. "Your people are strange," she told Ta. "On my world, enemies are destroyed, not healed." "Is that why the Daesun are always at war?" Tai asked. "Because you see everyone as either ally or enemy, with nothing in between." Jia had never thought of it that way. The Empire had always been at war with someone. It was their way. That night, Jia received another message. This one was from her former second officer, who had served under her for years. "Commander, the Empire prepares for war. They believe humans have corrupted you, and will use this as reason to conquer Earth. 3 fleets are gathering. They will attack in 15 days. If you return and renounce your actions, the Emperor may show mercy." Jia's hands shook as she read the message. 3 fleets. Earth stood no chance against such force. She could return, claim the humans had tricked her, regain her honor. It would mean betraying Tai, but it would save her life. When Tai returned home, he found her staring at the wall. "What's wrong?" he asked. Jia showed him the message. His face grew serious, but not afraid. "This is valuable information," he said. "We can prepare our defenses." Jia laughed bitterly. "What defenses? Your weapons are no match for 3 Daesun fleets. They will destroy your world." "Then help us," Ta said. "You know their tactics, their weaknesses. You want me to betray my people completely." Jia felt the weight of the choice before her. "I would never be able to return home." Tai took her hand. It was a gentle touch, something no Daesun would offer a disgraced soldier. "Home is not always where you were born, Jia. Sometimes it's where you choose to belong." His words struck something deep inside her. On Daesun, she had rank and power, but did she have a home? Did anyone care for her as a person, not just a commander? Here, on enemy soil, a human had saved her, healed her, given her shelter, asked for nothing in return. "I need time to think," she said. That night, as Earth's moon shone through her window, Jia faced the hardest choice of her life: return to the empire that had raised her, or help the humans who had shown her a different way to live. And somewhere in that choice was Ta, whose kind eyes had begun to mean more to her than all the power in the Daesun Empire. Morning came. Jia had made her decision. She found Ta in the kitchen, preparing food. He looked up when she entered, his face calm but questioning. "I will help Earth," she said simply. Tai did not cheer or boast. He just nodded. "Thank you." "Don't thank me yet," Jia replied. "The Daesun are the greatest military force in this part of space. I'm not sure Earth can win, even with my help." "We don't need to win," Ta said. "We just need to show that we're not worth the cost of conquering." Jia thought this was strange logic, but she followed Ta to a meeting with Earth's defense leaders. The room fell silent when Jia entered. Many eyes watched her with suspicion. She understood. Until recently, she had been their enemy. "This is Commander Jia," Tai announced. "She has chosen to help us against the coming Daesun attack." An older man stood. "How do we know we can trust her?" It was a fair question. Jia stepped forward. "You don't," she admitted, "but I have nowhere else to go. The Empire has branded me a traitor. My life is forfeit if I return." "Self-interest is not the same as loyalty," a woman pointed out. Jia nodded. "True, but I have seen how your people live, how you treat the weak, how you helped me when I was injured. These things are new to me, worth protecting." She did not mention Ta, did not say how his kindness had changed something inside her. That was private. The leaders talked among themselves. Finally, they agreed to listen to her plan. For the next week, Jia worked day and night. She drew maps of Dazun ships. She explained their attack patterns. She listed their weapons and their weaknesses. The flagship's shields have a delay when changing formation. She told the human engineers, if you can time your attacks to that moment, you might break through. The humans absorbed everything. They asked smart questions. They adapted their defenses based on her knowledge. Todd worked alongside her. His calm presence helped when memories of her former life made her doubt her choice. One night, as they reviewed battle plans, Jia asked the question that had bothered her for days. Why did you come to Mars that day? You must have known it was dangerous. Ta set down his tablet. Because it was the right thing to do, even knowing you might die. Some things are worth that risk. Jia shook her head. I don't understand. In Dazun culture, self-preservation is the highest goal. Power exists to keep yourself safe. And what good is safety if you lose your humanity to achieve it? Tai asked softly. That word, humanity, it meant more than just being human. Jia had learned. It meant showing compassion, helping others, valuing life over power. My people will show no mercy when they come, she warned. Then we will show them something they don't expect. Not just resistance, but restraint. Not just fighting, but forgiveness. Jia felt strange, warm but also afraid. Why are you like this? Why do you care so much about life, even enemy life? Ta looked at her, his eyes gentle. Because that's what makes us human. In that moment, Jia realized something important. She had been taught that caring was weakness, that mercy was failure, that only the strong deserved to live. But Tai and his people were strong in ways the Dazun never understood. They fought not just for themselves, but for each other, even for those who couldn't fight back. I have never met anyone like you, she said softly. Tai smiled. Is that good or bad? I'm not sure yet, Jia admitted. But as she said it, she knew it wasn't true. She knew exactly how she felt about this strange, kind human. She was falling in love with him. And it terrified her more than any battle ever had. The day came. Dazun ships filled Earth's sky like dark stars. Jia stood in the human command center. Screens showed the 3 Dazun fleets moving into attack position. Her old uniform was gone. Now she wore the blue and white of Earth's defense force. They're forming the Death Crown, she said, pointing to the pattern of ships. It's their standard opening for planet conquest. Ta stood beside her. His face was serious but calm. Are our ships in position? Yes, a general answered. All units ready. Jia had helped the humans place their ships where the Dazun would not expect them. Not in front as a wall, but hidden behind Earth's moon and in low orbit. They will strike hard and fast, Jia warned. They expect you to beg for mercy. We won't, Ta said. The first Dazun shots hit Earth's outer defenses. The room shook. This was it. The battle had begun. For hours, the fight raged. Dazun ships fired powerful weapons. Human ships darted between them, hitting the weak spots Jia had revealed. It's working, Jia said with surprise. The humans were holding their own, not winning, but not losing either. Then Admiral Ko's voice came through all channels. Attention, humans. Surrender now, and some may live. Continue fighting, and all will die. You have 1 hour to decide. The human leaders looked at each other. Jia knew what they were thinking. It's a trap, she told them. While you consider, they will position their ships for a killing blow. Then we keep fighting, the general said. Jia and Ta joined a team heading to a damaged satellite station. From there, they could disrupt the Dazun communication network. Their small ship dodged enemy fire. Jia marveled at the human pilot's skill. On Dazun, pilots flew straight and powerful. This human moved like water, flowing around danger. At the station, they worked quickly. Jia's knowledge of Dazun codes helped them break into the enemy network. We're in, Ta said after an hour of work. Now we can. An explosion rocked the station. Dazed soldiers had found them. Jia grabbed a weapon. She knew how her people fought. She had once led such soldiers. "Stay behind me," she told Tai. But he didn't listen. He grabbed a shield and moved to her side. Together, they faced the Dazan attack squad. Jia fought with all her training. Tai fought with surprising skill for a diplomat. They were almost to the exit when a tall blue figure stepped into view. Admiral Kyo. "Traitor," he hissed at Jia. "You betray your own kind for these weaklings." Jia stood tall. "They are not weak. They fight not for themselves but for each other. That is a strength the Daesun never understood." Admiral Kyo laughed. "Pretty words will not save you." He raised his weapon at Jia. Ta moved without hesitation. He pushed Jia aside and took the hit meant for her. The blast struck his shoulder, and he fell. Something broke inside Jia. With a cry of rage and pain, she attacked the admiral. Not with the cold precision of Daesun training, but with the hot fury of human emotion. Kyo was not prepared for such wild fighting. He stumbled back, surprised. Before he could recover, Jia knocked his weapon away. She could have killed him. Should have killed him, by Daesun rules. Instead, she looked him in the eyes. "I am taking him to safety. You can kill me, or you can listen." "Listen to what?" Kyo asked. "To the truth," Jia said. "That power is not what you think it is. True power is not destroying what threatens you. It's protecting what you love." She lifted Ta gently, his blood staining her hands. Kyo did not stop her as she carried him to their ship. As they escaped, Jia held Ta close. "Why did you do that?" she asked, pressing her hand to his wound. "Why risk your life for mine?" Tae's eyes opened slightly. Despite his pain, he smiled. "Because I love you," he said simply. And in the middle of the greatest battle Earth had ever faced, Jia finally understood what humans had that Daesun never would. Not just courage, not just compassion, but love. 3 months had passed since the battle. Jia stood at the window of the Peace Conference building, watching Earth's sunrise. The sky turned from black to deep blue to orange. It was beautiful in a way Daesun skies never were. Behind her, humans and Daesun sat together at a large round table. It was the 5th day of talks. The war had ended not with total victory for either side, but with something unexpected: understanding. After Jia had confronted Admiral Kyo, something strange had happened. Her words about true power had reached other Daesun commanders. Some had begun to question their orders. Not many, but enough to create doubt. And when humans had captured a Daesun ship but treated the crew with kindness instead of killing them, that doubt had grown. Now representatives from both species worked to build peace. It was fragile, like a newly planted seed, but it was real. Ta entered the room. His shoulder had healed, though he still moved it carefully sometimes. When he saw Jia, he smiled. "Ready for another day?" he asked. Jia nodded. "I still can't believe they're actually listening." "Your people respect strength," Ta said. "We showed them a different kind of strength." Later that day, a young Daesun officer approached Jia during a break. His uniform was crisp, his posture perfect, but his eyes showed confusion. "Commander Jia," he said formally, "I have been ordered to understand human culture, but I do not know where to begin." Once, Jia had been just like him, seeing humans as weak, their ways as strange. "Start with their art," she suggested, "and their medicine. Ask why they help those who cannot help themselves." The young officer looked doubtful. "What can the strong learn from the weak?" Jia smiled. "That strength and weakness are not what we thought they were." That evening, Jia and Ta walked in a garden near the conference building. Spring flowers bloomed around them. Earth was healing from the battle, just as they were. "What will happen when the talks end?" Jia asked. "Some Daesun will return home," Ta said. "Some might stay to learn more about Earth. What do you want to do?" Jia stopped walking. This question had been in her mind for weeks. "I don't belong in the Empire anymore," she said. My home is here now. Tay took her hand. His was warm against her blue skin. With Earth or with me? Both, Jia said simply. Tay smiled. I was hoping you'd say that. He leaned forward and kissed her gently. Jia had learned about kisses from human movies. She had thought them strange at first. Now she understood their appeal. 1 year later, a group of young Daesan visitors stood in a classroom. Jia stood before them, explaining human concepts of cooperation and community. In human society, helping others is not weakness, she told them. It is their greatest strength. Through the window, she could see Tai in the next building. He was showing another group how Earth technology worked, gesturing with excitement. When their eyes met across the distance, they both smiled. Later, they would go home to the small house they now shared. They would talk about their day, eat dinner together, and plan for tomorrow. Simple things that Jia had never known in her old life of power and conquest. Some of her former people still thought she had grown weak. They could not understand why a once great commander would choose a quiet life with a human. They did not see that Jia had found something stronger than any weapon in the Daesan arsenal, something her people had always lacked in their worship of power. She had found love, not just for Tai, but for his world and its values, for the strength of compassion, for the power of helping others. Her people had worshipped power all their lives. But Jia had found something better to worship, not just him, but the humanity he represented. And in doing so, she had helped two worlds begin to understand each other. It was not the ending she had been raised to seek. There was no conquest, no glory in battle, no enemies defeated. Instead, there was peace, understanding, love, and for Jia, that was enough.